Haha, I found it. Haha, okay. Sorry, we have no Steve Beck tonight, so we are doing this on the fly here. With that, thank you so much, Ted. We super appreciate you reading that signature message. Everybody, you should memorize it, repeat it, use it in your daily conversations with people. With that, I am going to jump out to Miss Annette Zobar, who is now in Mississippi, and I'll let her introduce exactly what location in Mississippi, but she's going to do our stories this evening. Annette, all yours.
Thank you so much, Dani, Leigh, and Ted. Great job, and what a wonderful start to this Team Zoom tonight. As Dani said, it's story time, and my name is Annette Zobar. I'm in Gulfport, Mississippi. My background is small business consulting. If you're new to the calls or new to our team, you might be wondering, why are these stories so important? Well, stories are how we share the incredible impact Legal Shield has had on the lives of our members and our associates. They motivate us. They help us make connections with our prospects. And they're especially important until you have stories of your own, because you can borrow these stories you are about to hear. In fact, even those of us who've been around forever borrow stories from other people. So when you listen to the stories, take notes on what the story's about, how they tell it, and their background, location, so you can borrow that story, or maybe bring that person in on a three-way call when it's appropriate to help you make a connection. So our first story tonight, we're heading over to Evansville, Indiana to hear from Ms. Leigh Perry. You're on.
Thanks so much, Annette. I wanted to share this. I know it's kind of weird to have a co-host share, but I got a text this week from one of my very happy members who is a travel consultant. She calls herself a travel designer. She said, I'm so excited. I just saved $700 for our car rental this week for next week with Legal Shield. That's cheaper than my travel agent discount. I love that I paid for Legal Shield for 2 years with this discount. Thanks. Love, Jenny Ransom. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Leigh. That is a great story about our members' perks, and we also have associate perks. And there's lots of people that pay for that membership every single month just by using member perks for things that we're going to buy anyway. So it's a good thing to remind people to use. So let's head over now to Raleigh, North Carolina to hear from one of our Millionaire Club members, Mr. Timmer Halligan. The Zoom is yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Annette. Timmer Halligan here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Got a background as a business owner and professional tennis player. One of the clubs I'm doing some consulting for right now, we had a contract we entered into for about $375,000 last year. We finished all the work. We paid them the $375,000, and they came back with another bill for $61,000 additional. They then went ahead and put a lawsuit out against us. I've been working with our law firm here in, forgot what state I'm in, North Carolina. And we've had so far 3 or 4 dialogues. They've answered all of the responses from the opposing party, and we're continuing to move forward. It hasn't cost me anything more than our Legal Shield membership. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Timmer. That is a great story. So many of my small business owners think that you can only use Legal Shield. Actually, our regular members too think you can only use Legal Shield for, piddly little things. But here's a big, huge issue, and they are working on it, and it's not costing anyone a dime, just their monthly membership. So thank you so much for sharing that. Remember, stories are important. So when you have one, either an opportunity, membership, or member perks, it's a great idea to share it with the team. Just reach out to me and volunteer. I now have the honor of turning the Zoom back over to my workout partner, a great mentor, Ms. Leigh Perry.
Thanks so much, Annette. So excited for you starting your new life, and welcome from your new location. And it is my true honor and privilege to interview an associate. We call this What's My Line? And Miss Kris Wilks, I'm so thrilled to have you on because, folks, I did my very first Ladies of Justice event with Kris, and we met in Lexington and had a couple of folks come and have a little snack with us. And Kris Wilks, talk to us a little bit. Welcome, welcome. Tell us how you got started with Legal Shield. How'd you find out about Legal Shield?
Thanks, Leigh. I appreciate the opportunity to share this. So I got started with Legal Shield in 2011. because at the end of 2010, I showed up at a networking event where none other than Mr. John Drennan was there. And it was one of those, it was like speed dating, only speed networking. And so both of us were stationary. So we didn't get to meet during that. And during lunch, we sat at opposite ends of the table. So at the end of that networking event, Mr. Drennan, as you would all expect, walked up to a person he had not met, introduced himself, asked what I did, and said, gee, I'd like to hear more about what you do. So we met for tea, and the rest is really history.
That's fantastic. What a great story. We all know that John is not scared to meet anybody. Well,
Exactly.
Kris, talk a little bit about what your background is and how Legal Shield fits in with that, why you decided to add it to your portfolio.
Sure. So I have been in health and wellness all of my life. And when I sat and listened to Mr. Drennan talk about how Legal Shield, Identity Shield, not only helps people with those issues, but it really takes stress off of the shoulders of those of us who are encountering those issues and puts it on the shoulders of people that can really do something about it. And the cool thing for me, that was the first time I had heard statistics like we are 3 times more likely to be in a court of law than we are the hospital. And I said, well, wait a minute, a hospital's open 24/7. And you're telling me that we are 3 times more likely to be in a courtroom? And as a wellness coach, a health professional, I just said, oh my gosh, everyone needs this because 95% plus ailments that show up at a doctor's office are stress related. And it just made sense to me.
That's fantastic. I was just making notes. I love that it puts the stress on the shoulders of those who can help. That's wonderful. So talk a little bit, Kris. I know I get your notices as one of your workout partners when you have folks in PBLS, and my phone has been dinging a lot lately. Talk a little bit about one of your favorite stories of helping someone.
Oh, wow. Boy, I'm like digging in my brain because every time I sign someone up, it's because I am helping them. The cool thing is I work full time in the healthcare industry, and I LOVE my JOB. And I am so thrilled always, every day, that Legal Shield as a company is an opportunity for me to do what I love to do every day and still have this right in my heart, in the palm of my hands, to help somebody in a heartbeat. Because all those dings you get, Leigh, are mostly referrals from folks that are already happy. And there are people who need the service. I just had a phone call actually 3 days ago from a fairly long time member of about 6 years, given that I've been in the business for 10. I think that's a good amount of time for somebody to have this service. And his daughter-in-law's, oh, well, I'm going to get the, anyway, a young man in their family died and he did not have a will. He had a business in his late 20s and they were asking if Legal Shield could help. And it was an opportunity to say, I am happy to share with his parents because they were going out trying to find an attorney that could help. So I don't need to go into detail with you all because you know how this works. I mean, they can ask questions, they can get as much advice as they need, and the attorneys can help them, whether it's 25% discount or writing a letter, whatever they need. And the beauty is I'm not the attorney. So I can say to my member, you know how this works, you've used it, you've got a law firm in the palm of your hand, the attorneys know what to do.
Wow, how awesome to help relieve the stress after losing a family member, especially a
Yeah.
young family member like that. Thank you so much, Kris. All right, you've got just 20 seconds left. What's the one thing you want to make sure everybody knows before they get off with you?
You want to be at Summer Blast. Folks, that's where the magic happens. Thanks, Leigh.
Thanks so much, Kris. Appreciate you being on. Kris Wilks, and
Thank
she is in the Kentucky market. And tell us where you are so everybody knows.
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
In Louisville, Kentucky. All right. Thanks so much. And now it is time for our training tidbit with Jane Lehman. It's resource time.
Woohoo! Hey, everybody. I don't know who that bell was for, but I sure hope it wasn't for me yet. So just give me 1 second here to get over to my screen share so that I can show a couple of tidbits to y'all. First of all, I want to thank Leigh Perry. This is Teamwork Makes the Dream Work, y'all. Leigh told me about this new tool, and I want to share this with you. It is in LS Engage. I know you probably can't see it really well on this. It's very small, but it's the top 10 reasons why I need Legal Shield. It's called, if you go to resources and type in top 10, it'll pop up. Top 10 reasons I need Legal Shield. And as you can see here, I mean, if I can read it, you can read it, right? I'm wearing glasses, but you can either screenshot this or go get this the document from back online and use one of these per day. Try that for a little while. Just think about the people you're talking to. These things are happening to everyone around you. So it's a really great piece that Legal Shield came out with. So today, I want to guide everyone who may not have been here yet to core system number 3, which is associate acquisition. I thought that's a good place to start right now because of Maui. You're going to go to LS Engage. And I did this because of new people possibly coming on, showing you how to get to training. There's 2 different places you can click on your LS Engage to get to the training. You click there and you'll come to something that looks like this. And you're going to want to come down here to the choose training plan, and you're going to click on that drop down menu. Next, you're going to choose 10 core systems. Once you get there, you're going to go down to core system number 3. And this was filmed at our last convention, our first ever Zoom convention. It was with Aaron Browning and Marty Wynn. Some of you will remember it if you were there. It was a powerful training, a really powerful training. They covered all of these things, starting with make your list. And we've talked about that before. And we've also talked about the John Drennan video, but I want to put it here just to remind you, if you haven't made your list and written it down, don't pull out a spreadsheet. Don't pull out your phone and think you're going to text it in or something. Pull out a pen and paper and write that list. Follow John Drennan's video. I know when I did his video, I had to pause that thing 50 times so that I could write names down to make my list. And the next thing they walk you through is inviting to prospect. They go over Prospect by Legal Shield quite a bit in this presentation. It's an amazing presentation. I could watch this thing over and over. Every time I watch it, I hear something else that they said, then they're going to take you also through following up with a 3-way call, and then how to enroll a member from your Legal Shield, the Prospect by Legal Shield app. So again, this was the core system number 3. And just take the time to watch it. It's so powerful, and you will absolutely be motivated and inspired by doing so. And the next thing, I have one more thing to share with you tonight, and that was a book. Ladies, everyone on here should read this book, and gentlemen, you should probably get this book for women that you know. It is a really powerful, very well-written book. I met this woman on LinkedIn. Don't really know her. She had commented on something I posted. I commented on something she posted. And the next thing you know, I saw that she'd written a book and I ordered it. It's a very powerful book showing women. It really shows you how some of the things that we say or the way we react can really show our lack of self-confidence. So did you say something, Susan? Which just the title alone made me want to buy it. I thought it was awesome. So with that, Leigh, I am taking back to you, and I will stop the screen share, and it's all yours.
All right, thanks so much. And now, Dani Goeden, it's your turn to do an interview.
Well, hello, everybody. Yes, this is our behind the scenes with a millionaire moment. Unfortunately, the millionaire we had lined up had some unforeseen circumstances, so we are actually going to go out to our one and only Mr. John Drennan to pinch hit for us. How you doing today, John?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here. It's good to be a pinch hitter.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. We know this is last minute and you weren't expecting this. So I'm just going to throw a couple of things out at you. The first thing is did you want to add anything to what Kris Wilks said earlier?
Oh, yeah. I love that story. And of course, Kris was limited on time, but I'll add this. You know, we met at that networking event and then got together. She said, I showed her the membership. Kris got the membership right away. She was in the midst of dealing with the fact her mother passed and dealing with how do I navigate with my brothers. And she used Legal Shield. And I know, and Kris, if you agree with this, do a thumbs up. It was very empowering for you, Kris. And I remember you called me and asked, John, how I've got friends and family who should know about this. What should I do? Should I have them call you? I said, well, Kris, you might want to look at our business and see if you can be part of what we're doing. And that's how she became an associate. And that's, you know, ever since then, I've really talked a lot about our very best prospects for the business are satisfied members. So yeah, I'm glad I could add that. And Kris, it was great hearing your story.
That's awesome. Yes, that was a great story, Kris. Do you have any stories that are similar to Kris's that just stand out to you as one of the most exceptional membership stories?
Yeah, and just to be clear, are you asking one of my membership, personal or someone or
one that
either
you've
one?
helped? Yeah, personal or one that you've helped.
Yeah. So I'll do one of each real quick. Most of you have heard me say when I first got Legal Shield, I called my Michigan law firm because a company in Illinois owed me how much money?
$200.
Yeah, they weren't paying me. So the Michigan law firm connected me to the Illinois law firm and they wrote me a letter and I got the check a week later. Why that story is so powerful is it was pre-existing. I used two law firms. Both of them reviewed a 6-page document that I left out tonight. One of them wrote a letter. None of that cost me a penny over my membership of $25 a month, which is still what the price is today. And I got my money. I tell that story because everyone can relate to something like that. So for 23 years, I've told that story. A membership story. I remember one, it was a woman in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. And I was on the phone with her, asking her to share a story because I had heard about it. And she started crying while telling me the story. Her husband died at work and there should have been some kind of compensation and there wasn't. And I asked her, why hadn't you hired an attorney? And she said, I couldn't afford it. But with Legal Shield, the attorneys got her and her child about $80,000 due to the death that occurred. And she literally broke down telling me the story. I've got a couple like that, but that I'll always remember that one.
That's definitely a powerful story. I have a few of those, the people that have broken down that we've helped with.
Yeah.
So kind of going on a little bit forward, a lot of us have heard about this book that's coming out. Why don't you share a little bit about it with us so we can kind of know what's going on and when to expect to see it?
I'm excited about it. August 12th, it'll be available digitally through Kindle, through Amazon, or on Kindle through Amazon. September 1st, it'll be available to order through Amazon or other places, but that's going to be the most common. So, and the book's called The Tao of Network Marketing. Tao is spelled T-A-O. It's really an Eastern philosophy word. And I'll just give you a couple words inside of the word Tao. One is wisdom, one is journey, one is path. So this is not a how-to book. And, you know, I've read a lot of books on network marketing and business, and most of them talk about how to do whatever it is. This is more the wisdom and benefits one can draw from taking the journey. And many of you are going to read it and say, well, I've heard him talk about that 1,000 times. I mean, I'm on my screen right now, I see Carlos and Sheila Bird right in the middle, and they're gonna just say, oh yeah, I remember him talking about that in Southfield, Michigan. Oh yeah, he did that training. Oh, in Livonia. Oh yeah, I remember him doing that from, oh yeah, he did that at, a PBR. So anyhow.
That's amazing. I'm super excited to read it. I know some people have gotten to preview that, but I'm just really excited for you. And I agree probably with Carlos and Sheila. I'm gonna read this and be like, hey, I remember this. This is my coaching from the last year. So I'm super excited about that.
Hey, Dani, one more thing, because you said some people have been able to read it and some people wonder, well, how's that possible? So I did put together a group of people I called an advanced promotion team to get out a version of it that wasn't 100% finished in terms of the edits, but enough that people could read it so that they could give feedback, so I could have that feedback, and then so they could be in a position to promote it, let other people know about it. So that's why some people have already read it or are in the process.
Yeah, sorry. Being a writer, I kind of already knew that. I go through that same
Most
process.
people don't. It's like, hey,
I
where'd they
totally
get it?
forget that sometimes. So yes, that's awesome. All right, well, we got about 30 more seconds here, John, with our little interview that we got going. So is there anything that you want to share with the team right now that's going on, that's kind of important, that's coming up?
Gee, I don't know. It's late July. We haven't had a summer blast. Summer blast. Kris said it, August 6th, August 7th. Register. It's so easy. SuccessPartnersEvents.com. It's $20. That's the price of a large pizza. And even if you can't make the whole thing, it'll be recorded. But more importantly than you, because I'm preaching to the choir, more importantly than you register, how many people are you going to have with you? That's such an important question. I took that question seriously 23 years ago when I was told you want to have people at the big events. So got that coming up. But then Dani, obviously, a couple months later, we've got the big event in Phoenix. So back to back, big stuff coming.
Absolutely. And if you guys haven't seen the information from the live stream in Cabo, there are some big things coming in Phoenix. So just be on the lookout. Well, thank you so much, John, for pinch hitting. I super appreciate it. You're Johnny on the spot for us. I love it. Thank you again.
My pleasure. Right. Always here.
Cool. Well, with that, we get to go out to our motivational moment. And tonight we have none other than Mr. Prince Johnston giving us our motivational moment. Prince, the Zoom is yours. Don't forget to unmute.
Thank you again. Tonight's motivational moment actually comes from the book entitled The Quest for Purpose. And that definition for the word purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. And Helen Keller actually made this particular quote that I'm going to read, and she says, "True happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose." Also, one of the keys to discovering your purpose is self-awareness. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Prince. I appreciate that. Let me go back over here. And Miss Leigh Perry, do you have anything to add before we close out tonight?
I've got an awesome video to share that Matt picked for us, but you have to stop recording first.
I will definitely stop recording first.
It will get your mindset. You know, we talk about getting your mindset